Welcome, people of planet Earth and all planets beyond. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Josh, and welcome to Heat Check. This is our weekly review of the top 10 highest selling vintage Levi's on eBay last week, so let's check it out. So this week's list is pretty crazy. Probably the most valuable top 10 we've done for Levi's thus far. Well over $10,000 worth of merchandise, and number one is responsible for like just about half of that value. So you'll definitely want to stick around and check that one out. It's pretty crazy. But just so you know how this works, I use as much verification tools as I can to verify these are real sales, that they weren't relisted, that they were paid for, to the best of our ability. Sometimes stuff does slip through the cracks, and if it looks suspicious and I still keep it on, I'll let you know. But otherwise, I try to clear out as much of the suspicious fake stuff or shill bids, stuff like that, just to give you guys the most accurate picture I can. But without further ado, let's get into this list. All right, coming in at number 10, we have this vintage 501 60s Big E red line selvage single stitch. According to the title, let's take a look. These guys look pretty well worn. Something sort of funky going on with the button fly area. Let's see if they give us a close-up on this guy. It still has its patch, which is somewhat unusual. You got a centered belt loop in the back. This is clearly suggesting perhaps mid to late 60s. Big E obviously there. Looks like everything looks like here. Looks pretty good. We've got a number 8, no V-stitch, so we're definitely looking at the later half of the 60s for this pair of 501s. Otherwise, it looks great. Maybe that wear, that's just sort of an interesting wear on the crotch area there. I'm not sure what's up with that, but beautiful pair of jeans. Definitely has some wear to it, but the wear is all in the right places, which I think is pretty dope. Great knee patches. They might look like they may have been sewn up. Actually, it's kind of cool. But anyway, this pair of jeans sold for $550. It was a best offer, $550 for plus $20 in shipping. This is just the beginning, obviously, of a lot of really high-priced Levi's. So let's take a look. At number 9, we have this original vintage 1950s Toddlers. Yes, that's right, Toddlers Big E red label selvage Levi's. Look at the deep color on these toddler jeans. I mean, looks like let's see, looks like it may have a zip. Yeah, I see a zipper in there, which would have been pretty common for a child's pair of jeans. You know, you can't really do the butterfly very well. But look at the beautiful deep dark indigo blue on these things. You can see it has all the rivets. I mean, it looks beautiful. And in fact, this one actually has a leather patch. You can see it says right there, I think it says 503ZXX. So this was the zippered version, which would have probably been common for the 50s. They do have hidden rivets here. You can see that, hidden rivets on this guy. Beautiful pair of jeans, the deep color. I wish they would have shown us what zipper it had, but still, beautiful pair of Toddlers selvage denim. Pretty unusual to see that on this list, but they sold for $785. So maybe you should check out the toddler section of your local thrift store just to make sure that these are not there. Now at number 8, we have these 1960s Big E red line 501s. Lots of good deep color on this one as well. We have the screwdriver helping us out here, letting us see that Big E plus the selvage denim. Everything looks good. This is a good pair of jeans. Some wear, I mean some wash at least, so it's not as deep as the blue could be. But this is a pretty good color considering all things considered. There is a little bit of maybe a repair there or a little scuff. We have the number 8. No, we have no V-stitch, so we're looking at late 60s as well on this guy. Does have its patch. You can see that big old 501 right there. Size, I can't tell if this is 33 or 38. Maybe 38. Yeah, 38 probably, because these have shrunk down a bit short. So I don't know, maybe they were taken in or hemmed. It doesn't appear that they were, because they look pretty good. But anyway, this pair of jeans sold for the asking price of $999.99 plus shipping. Beautiful pair. Now we're already in the thousands of dollars range for the Levi's here. So at number 7, we are looking at this 1950s 501XX Big E selvage with hidden rivets. Has some damage, has been washed, so you can definitely see some of the indigo blue is washed out. There are some worn spots, but no patch either. Some wear on the back. You can see here that quarter helping us out to see the big E. We do have a selvage coin pocket or a watch pocket. It's pretty. It's a pretty good indicator that it's a bit older. We do have a V stitch. You can see some of that like rusty that rust around the rivets. That's a good sign that it's pretty old, at least in my experience. Let's see, did they show us the hidden rivets? Yes, they did, right there. Hidden rivets on these guys, so definitely a much older pair. 50s sounds about right. Beautiful pair of jeans right here. They did go for $1,200. So best offer accepted of $1,200 plus shipping. All right, at number 6, we have this selvage red line. These are not 501s, actually. I think these are zippered, so they might be 501Zs. This is a little bit deceptive here on the way this is advertised, though I understand why they did it. These are 34 by 30s. This lady is certainly not a 34. You can see the way that she's holding the jeans. She's intentionally holding them so they look tighter. You can clearly see that's what she's doing here. But people like to sell these things the way they like to sell them, and you can't complain with the incredibly deep blue that you see on this particular pair. I mean, very deep. Like, this is some of the deepest blue I have seen on a pair on sale on eBay for a while. Maybe there's some little artificial help going on with just the contrast and stuff, but super beautiful pair of denim here. They do appear to be zippered jeans. Let's see if they show us. There is the V stitch plus a K stamp, which was common for jeans this old. The tab is torn off or cut off, which is unfortunate for such a beautiful pair of jeans. I don't know if they show us the zipper. I would have hoped they would have shown us the zipper, but I don't believe. It's kind of hard to tell. Yeah, they think they are zippered. So these are probably, let's see, zipper fly. So yeah, these are probably 501Z, most likely. Perhaps a 502, but I doubt it. But anyway, beautiful pair of jeans right here. They did sell for $1,400 plus shipping. So a good sale for them. Now at number 5, we have a pretty unbelievable pair of jeans, and really literally and kind of unbelievable. And we have a early 80s dead stock pair of 501s. They are red lines. So these are some of the last red lines or last selvage jeans to ever have been produced. You can see the selvage right there. This was around, you can see we have the tag right here showing us that this is clearly from the 80s. It has a triple-digit factory code. We're looking at one of the later pairs of selvage denim as they sort of phased them out in the early to mid 80s. And this is a pretty incredible pair of jeans, but man, $1,700 and $75. Like, that just seems so crazy. I've never seen a pair of jeans from the 80s go for this much. So that's just wild to me. There were 16 bids, 9 different bidders. So I'm not necessarily expecting these to have been faked or something like that per se. And as far as I can tell, everything does appear to have sold like it should have. But oh my goodness, what a sale! This is like what you would see for stuff a little bit further back. So. Again, I guess to me it's somewhat suspicious at this price, but then again, like I've said before, shrink to fit jeans that are not shrunk are harder and harder and harder to find, specifically in the selvage department. So maybe this is just what the prices are coming to with this pair of jeans. So beautiful pair, but man, that price is wild. All right, now our only Type 2 denim jean jacket on this list. 1950s 507XX Type 2. This is actually a pretty cool jacket. We've seen Type 2s on here. We've seen Type 2s go for under $1,000. So the Type 2 being on this list is not crazy, but this particular Type 2 is pretty fascinating. So we've got our normal stuff here. Looks good. The condition looks pretty good. Only minor blemishes here and there. Decent amount of color left. The pleats look good for the most part. We do have... I think there's a couple pleats maybe that we're missing. that might have seen, yeah, that are popped or something. But generally speaking, everything here looks pretty good. But you'll notice right here, this is what I wanted to point out. You'll see that this is a one-sided Levi's tab. This would indicate that this is one of the earliest Type 2s in the very early 50s, as that sort of changed a little bit later in the 50s to be double-sided. So this is a pretty rare pair of Levi's right here, Levi's jacket. Definitely one of the more rare Type 2s that do exist out there. So that is why it commanded the price that it did. It actually sold for $2,000 plus shipping on a best offer. Definitely makes sense considering this is such an old and rare Type 2. Now next up we have a vintage dead stock 1960s Big E selvage denim 502 and or 501Z. It's not a 501Z, it's definitely a 502, but they put that in there just in case somebody's looking for, since those are both very similar pairs of jeans. Beautiful pair, dead stock like I said. This would make more sense to me as a high-priced pair of jeans than the last dead stock 501. But beautiful all around. Doesn't look like there's any flaws from storage or anything like that. Does not have a V-stitch, as you can tell here. Does have a zipper. I believe the zipper is a Schofield zipper. So we're definitely looking at the late 60s. That's my guess. 502, you can see right there. These do not, I believe, let's go back and look to see. Yeah, you can see they have the bar tacks in the back without the hidden rivets. So clearly this is on the later end of the 60s. Maybe even early 70s, to be honest, because I'm looking at this. Yeah, I'm looking at. I don't see. There's like no sign of any of the pale yellow thread, which would have been common at least at some level in the late 60s. So this quite possibly is just a like 1970s or something like that, or very late 60s, like 69, 70, 71 era dead stock pair of 502s. But it did go for $26.50. Huge price right here, but this makes a bit more sense. The seller, excuse me, had no feedback, which is a little bit concerning. But as far as I can tell, it was paid for, and this would not be crazy to pay for this much money for this type of jeans. So as long as the seller really was legit and actually sent the jeans, these are a pretty good buy for a unshrunk pair of 502s from the 60s, or maybe even potentially early 70s. So beautiful pair at number 3. Now at number 2, we have more crazy price Levi's right here. We have this rare 1950s vintage Big E 501 hidden rivet pair of 501s. I mean, these are beautiful. The color seems to be all there, like perhaps only, you know, maybe never washed or rarely washed at least. Probably looks like it does seem like there's some wash in there. You can see some of the fragments on the denim there, but very little wear. You can see that pale yellow denim. You can see the hidden rivets right back here. Lots of deep blue in this. You can see the Big E. You can see that again, that pale yellow thread, very common to this old jeans. No. It's so annoying. These jeans don't look like they have anywhere hardly whatsoever, yet the patch has been taken off. Someone didn't like the patch and had it removed. You can see here that the belt buckle is offset from the center, which would have been indicative of a pair from the early 50s. So definitely a beautiful pair of jeans. Incredible pair of jeans in a lot of ways. And then, yeah, an incredible pair of jeans. I'm trying to see where the size is. Where the size go? Yeah, 26. So fairly short pair of jeans here. V-stitch, true vintage. Yeah, all this stuff. Snap pocket still visible. But beautiful pair of jeans. Either way, this pair of jeans sold for $2,800 with $11 shipping, or $17 shipping, excuse me. Beautiful pair of jeans. Again, another seller with low feedback, but that's, you know, some people find things and sell things. It's just does not necessarily mean that it is any sort of fraudulent, but what a great price for this pair of jeans. Now, before we hit number 1, let us know in the comments below how you are enjoying these videos, if you like them, if we should continue to make them. Which one of these is your favorite? Let us know. Which one of these would you pay all this big money for? And let us know what is the highest valued pair of Levi's you ever sold and how much you sell it for. We'd love to hear feedback from you guys. And want to let you know that there is another heat check that we do for vintage t-shirts that comes out on Thursdays. All right, for number 1, we have this beautiful pair of 1950s Big E 501s selvage. What's so incredible about this pair and what commands such a huge value is that it still has its leather patch. This is definitely from the early 50s. It is hard to find these patches. You can barely see the every pair guarantee, every jean guarantee right there in the red ink, but otherwise so cracked and damaged. But generally speaking, the jean itself is in fantastic condition. You see that pale yellow and lots of deep blues on this pair. This is a hard pair to find. This is pretty incredible. You have some light wear, washout of some of the indigo dye, but beautiful pair of jeans. It is double-sided. I believe that's, yeah, you can see it's double-sided Levi's. The selvage, everything here looks fantastic. Hidden rivets as well. Let's see what else we see here. We have, yeah, V-stitch, like we would expect. I don't see if they show us. Where's the back? Let's see the back. Yep, you can also see the offset belt loop as well right there. That's not centered in the middle of the jean. Just offset, which would have been accurate for the time. Incredible pair of jeans. This jean sold for $5,100 with 44 bids. Incredible sale. Incredible pair of jeans. But man, that's a big number. This week's top 10 Levi's had lots of big numbers in them. This one is the biggest and definitely one of the coolest pairs we have seen it to date. So that was the top 10, and I told you it was going to be huge. There was some crazy sales on this list this week. It's a pretty unusual week. We've had weeks where we've only had like $1,000 or $2,000 plus jeans, and I think this week we had 8 or even maybe 9. Technically 8 or 9, no, 8, so like just about 8. So pretty crazy list this week. Definitely the highest that we have seen on the Levi's heat checks so far. And maybe we'll see some more of these big weeks coming up in the future. I don't really know. It's kind of hard to tell with the way the economy is going and everything. This sort of surprises me that we have such a high value list this week. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.